Mohan, to you first. The BJP has kind of clubbed the whole news click, revelations in the New York Times, along with the Rajiv Gandhi Trust. And you saw Anurag Thakur, minister, addressing a press conference as well, training his guns in part at NewsClick, but making this about a larger ecosystem of entities, including the Congress party, allegedly taking money from the Chinese. That's what the BJP is alleging. Mohan, respond.
First, let me say that I find it amusing that Mr. Anurag Thakur will actually quote anything from the New York Times. I mean, let me quote him on Twitter from March 2023, when he said New York Times had long back dropped all pretensions of neutrality while publishing anything about India. He called it mischievous and fictitious, and this isn't the only article they've criticized of the New York Times. So I guess they've changed their minds about the reporting authenticity of that particular publication. Secondly, let me say that this isn't a new allegation. They leveled this allegation in the past, and they even cancelled Rajiv Gandhi Foundation's FCRA license. What I am wondering is why they haven't done anything about PM Cares. We have no idea who the donors to PM Cares are. We know there were public pronouncements of Chinese companies such as Xiaomi donating over 10 crores to PM Cares. And there was absolutely nothing done about that because the PM Cares fund is not subject to any sort of scrutiny like Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and other funds are. What I also wonder is what is the BJP doing in 2009 when a BJP RSS team actually went to meet with the Communist Party of China and talked about border issues in Arunachal. What I also wonder is why the BJP government has allowed imports from China to grow from somewhere around 50 to 60 billion in 2004 to now about $100 billion. Okay. What I also wonder is why the External Affairs Minister's son's organization, which is the Observer Researcher Foundation, that has received money from the Chinese embassy, not once, not twice, but several times over, is not subject to the same kind of scrutiny like Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is. Okay. And for the BJP to talk about receiving money from nefarious sources, they should be the last ones talking about it because they got money in 2014-15 of an amount of 10 crores from a company called RKW Developers that had links with Iqbal Mirchi alias Iqbal Menon, who was accused in the 93 Mumbai blast and a close associate of Dawood Ibrahim. So they're the last ones to talk about where funding is coming from.
Okay, Anila, the Congress, smashes the ball back in your court saying, who are you to question us about Chinese money? And he's listed a huge number of instances alleging that the BJP is no one to talk. How would you respond to that? Keep it to what we're talking about. Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, NewsClick. Also remember there were raids that happened back in 2021, by the Enforcement Directorate against NewsClick, at which point there were members of the opposition who had actually defended.
My Ram to all, and I was very well listening to Mr. Mangalam, and he was, saying, oh, how BJP can quote New York Times when BJP says that whatever the news come out in New York Times, you cannot rely on that. But sir, this time you can come out and say whatever New York Times is saying, it is all crap. Does Congress party has got that type of guts to say this thing to the New York Times? Of course not. But the nexus in between the political parties like Congress, the NGOs, the media house, the companies, and the Chinese, it is unnerving. It is very scary how these people are looting this country, how these people are cheating this country. And I have to tell Mr. Mangalam, you should correct your facts and you should know what your leaders had said earlier. When the raids happened on NewsClick and News Laundry and a couple of more...
NewsClick. Let's keep it on NewsClick.
No. I'm saying when Tech's official raids happened on NewsClick and News Laundry, at that time we had seen that Randeep Surjewala, Digvijay Singh, Abhishek Singhvi, Supriya Srinath, and many more Congress leaders, they had come out and they had started advocating in favor of NewsClick. So you can very well see the connection. It doesn't require rocket science to understand that how this political party, Congress, is connected to NewsClick, how NewsClick is connected to Singham.
Okay, so Mohan, the allegation is that, the Congress basically trooped out to defend NewsClick when they were being raided by the Enforcement Directorate, and now you have egg on your face because the New York Times, which in the Congress and the opposition's view can say no wrong, has basically said something that's very unpalatable for you. Respond to what Anila is saying.
So, Shiv, I don't think we have egg on our face in any way. If we have egg on our face, so does the Press Club of India.
No, the
so does
BJP
the
is saying
Editors
that.
Guild.
BJP is saying
Let me finish. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
responding to her. I'm saying the Press Club of India, the Editors Guild, there were many people who condemned the action against NewsClick at that point in time, saying that it was a move to intimidate journalists. I mean, we are 161 out of 181 in 180 countries in the world press freedom index. So if someone goes ahead and raids an agency that is publishing news critical about the government, which is a rarity these days, let me add, I would say that anybody in opposition will get up and say, you are actually trying to intimidate journalists. I'm not sure why this is surprising. And I will also say that a journalistic report in New York Times or Washington Post or whatever that publication may be is not concrete proof. I would like an investigative agency's report to come out. And if that is indeed true, action to be taken against that report. And after that, we can have a conclusive discussion about what NewsClick was and isn't.
So you're saying that an investigation should happen into what the New York Times is alleged, because it's part of their investigation.
No. I'm saying the enforcement directorate is obviously doing an investigation. They were raided in 2021. So I will wait for the ED's report to come out and for subsequently a charge sheet to be filed before I start making comments against a news organization.
No, but I understand that. But Mohan, what about the allegations made in the New York Times? These are extremely serious allegations. Do you think those should be investigated? The Chinese link of NewsClick?
Of course. I think if there is a drawable link, if there is a money trail, so to speak, that is evident and that is easy to find, I'm sure the Enforcement Directorate will seek that information from whatever report has been published from the respective foreign agencies.
Understood.
And
Anila, final word to you then. You know, we've seen all the fire and brimstone, the politics, the finger pointing, etc. Will there be an investigation now? You know, if the New York Times is being brandished now by the BJP, will the BJP put its money where its mouth is and actually investigate? Yes, the Enforcement Directorate has already taken action against NewsClick, but this issue of Chinese money funding them, will this also be investigated now, or will it only just be politics?
Indeed, do you think that the investigative agencies in our country in today's time, they are going to spare anybody who is very much well connected with wrong routes to get money in? The news portals funding from China, the secret MOU signed by the Congress party with the Chinese, and the Soros connection only raises many more questions, which Congress party in today's time at this moment is not able to answer. Because now Bharat understands that Chinese fund Indian National Congress. That is a reality.
I'm out of time. 10 seconds. Only 10 seconds to you, Mohan. 10 seconds.
I just want to offer a piece of advice to the founders of NewsClick. If they want to get away from this investigation, the best way to do so is to join the Bharatiya Janata Party. History has proven time and again.